guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with another recommendation video. These are forbidden romances. Now, none of these are like super taboo. They are just romances where they're not supposed to be together and people will be really mad if they get together. So I have a variety of books to share with you, but first I want to go ahead and recommend a creator that I've recently discovered that I've been obsessing over their videos, and that is Oh Hey, It's Micah. I discovered Micah, I want to say like a month ago, and I talked about her in a reading vlog that I had done when I discovered her, because she was reading like Gianna Darling, she loves Penelope Douglas, she loves all the indie romances I do, and as you guys know, I've been super into indie romances lately. She just did her June wrap up where she's continuing on in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. She's reading Cora Riley, Fiona Cole. She did the mid-year freak out tag, which I think like we all did on BookTube. She also has been doing a banned reading vlog, which I've done 2 of those, and now she, I believe, has done 2 of those as well, where she reads banned romances just to see what's up with them and why they were banned, and they were really fun. So I think if you like my indie romance content, you would love Micah's content, so go ahead, give her a follow. I will link her down below, I'll link her up in the cards, and check out her channel, and if it's something that you're interested in, I would definitely say go ahead and subscribe. She's at 773, so I hope we can get her to 1K at least. We'll see. So go give her a follow if you are into her content. So I will go ahead and get to the recommendations now. So the first one I have is Strictly Professional by Christina C. Jones. This one, our heroine is a new lawyer, and so she's about to start her new job. She goes out to a bar, meets a guy, they really hit it off, but then her roommate kind of ruins anything going further than a kiss. And so the next day, I believe, or soon after, she goes to work for her uncle at his law firm and realizes that one of her superiors is the guy that she met and really hit it off with. So obviously they can't be together. He works for her uncle, but nobody knows it's her uncle, so he doesn't know that she's related to him, but he just knows that she's one of the new people at work, and he really shouldn't be doing that. I love a good office romance, but I love it even more when it's forbidden because of the dynamics in the office. Like, oh, you're my boss, I can't really like you. Like, it's against the rules, but they're around each other all the time, which makes it even better and more angsty, so I would definitely recommend reading this one. Then I have The Protector. This is by Elin something. I already got out of the page, but this is Pierce, I think. I don't remember her last name, but this one I was recommended to from Jessin Reads Romance, and it sounded intriguing. My library had the audiobook. It is a futuristic, I wouldn't say dystopian, but it is in the future, so I don't really know. It's not sci-fi. I don't know how to like explain it, but it's very interesting because it has kind of the Ice Planet Barbarian vibes, because the world is super different now that Canada is like taken over by men, and they're like barbaric men. They're men who like the masculine society and like the patriarchy, and the general United States is kind of ruled by women, and like men are very feminine now according to society standards, and they share the wealth. There's no real like rulers, there's no jail, but they're like kind of, as they have like a conversation about that. It's just like interesting, like everything's free to use, and like she's a professor. They're not supposed to talk about the men of the North, and so our heroine does talk about them in her class, and she's also kind of like an archaeologist, and so there's a library that is discovered in the North, and they want someone to come and like excavate it, right? Like get all the things from it and like uncover everything there, and it's like a university library, and no one wants to go, but she wants to, and so she volunteers. Something wrong happens in transmission, so that the men of the North think that a man's coming because they don't really have a lot of women where they are, and she shows up, and she is definitely like a big no-no for her ever even having any sort of relationship with any of the men. She's from her society, they're from their society. It's so different, but she's definitely intrigued by him, and in their society, like they want to like marry her off, like so they have this competition of who's going to be her protector, and she's like, oh, so it's going to be like my guard for the time I'm here, and it's like, no, it's your husband. And so she's like, excuse me, but she's already been kind of being protected by our hero, and his brother, I believe, is the one that's like the leader of them all. She spends her time trying to like uncover this library and then learn more about them, and then someone from her people comes and visits, and it's like a lot. It's so hard to explain, but it is definitely taboo for her to even be interested in one of the end men. Very different from their kind of society standards and like what they're supposed to want, and she's supposed to not be attracted to like gruff, rugged, bearded men, but she like finds herself attracted to him, and so it's really fun. I give it 4 out of 5 stars, but I think the world is definitely very unique, and I'm excited to see what the other books are like. So if you want a kind of forbidden romance that's futuristic and interesting, kind of barbarian vibes, I would recommend this one. Then I have The Hitman by Katrina Jackson. This one's forbidden because our hero is a hitman. He's a hired hitman and he is on vacation, and our heroine is on vacation because her soon-to-be husband cheats on her the night before their wedding with 2 different people very publicly because he's a famous actor, and they've been together for like 6 years. She's devastated, so she takes their honeymoon and his credit card on her own, and she is hanging out in Italy at this like resort, and he is there, our hero is, and he's really intrigued by her, but because of his profession, he's like, I can't like have any ties with anybody, I can't like anybody. He's also gone through stuff in his past, and so he tries to ignore his attraction to her, but he's really intrigued by her, and he only just wants a fling, but then they end up kind of having a little more, and then people come after him. So this is more forbidden because of his job. He's not supposed to really have any ties with anybody, but it's a lot of fun. They end up trying to survive with some people trying to kill them, and I would recommend it. It's kind of summery too because they're both like hanging out at a resort together, so if you want some action in that, I would recommend this one. The next one is The Intimacy Experiment by Rosie Danan. This one is a rabbi and a former sex worker, so it's forbidden because of the hero's job. He really can't be in a relationship with someone like that, and there comes a point in the book where people at his job are like, this can't happen, because she's actually hired by him to give different classes at the synagogue about relationships and intimacy, and it's really fun because they get to know each other. He's super young. He was hired at the synagogue to try to like help it because they don't have a lot of people coming and they want to entice like young people, and she wants to give a lot of talks about having healthy relationships and intimacy, and so she is very frustrated because people don't take her seriously because of her profession, and so he ends up hiring her because he really wants people to come and like young people, and so she ends up giving some of her classes and they start spending time together, but it's like she can't be with him because he obviously is a rabbi. Like there's gonna be a stigma against her, and people are gonna talk and have judgments against them, and I really enjoyed it. I think that the forbidden aspect, this one more than some of the other ones, really came into play in affecting their relationship, but I like this actually a lot better than the first book in the series. I wasn't the biggest fan of The Roommate, but I did really enjoy this one. Then I have An Unexpected Earl by Anna Harrington. I just read this week. Really, I listened to the audiobook, and this one's forbidden because of a specific reason. So it's forbidden in the past and in the present. When they were younger, they had a romance, like when they were teenagers, and her father found out and pretty much banished him. He was not an Earl, he was really poor, but then he went and joined the military, and then it happened that he was a far distant relation of this Earl that just died, so he inherited it. Now he's back in town trying to uncover this like secret organization, and she's trying to figure out who is blackmailing her brother. So they both meet at this masquerade. He realizes that it's her and they can't stay away from each other, but there is definitely something stopping them from being together. They are not allowed to be together in the current. I can't tell you because it's a spoiler, but I really loved what came out of why they couldn't be together. It was really fun, and then how they had to figure out how to fix that. And so a lot of people said they couldn't be together, especially when they were young. It was definitely forbidden, and that's why he was like banished. And so it's a second chance romance. It was really interesting how her brother came into play in the plot line, so I would recommend this one. Then I have When Heroes Fall by Gianna Darling. This one, our heroine is actually the lawyer of the hero, and so it kind of crosses like professional boundaries. She really doesn't want to be with someone like him. He is in the mafia, he is on trial for like murder and all these different things, and so she is part of the team that is hired to make sure that he is found innocent with everything. And what happens is he demands that she stays at his apartment because he is put on house arrest, and he wants someone there in order to give him updates. And now she is very, very cold. It's really Grumpy Sunshine, where she's the grump, he's the sunshine. Her fiance left her for someone close to her, and so she, I think it was her fiance, it was either fiance or her boyfriend, her significant other left her for someone else and is having a child with them, and so she is just like, I can never let anyone else in again, but she finds herself really drawn to him, and sparks do fly. So I really, again, like that workplace romance and how they're not supposed to be together because it kind of crosses professional boundaries, but they just can't not, and we have forced proximity. I just really loved everything about this book, and I'm really excited for the second one in the duet. It's come out now by the time you see this video, so I'm really excited to read that, but overall this was a lot of fun. Then I have Stolen Heir by Sophie Lark. This one is forbidden because they are in rival mafias. It is a mafia romance, and our heroine's actually kidnapped by him. So he is in the Polish mafia, and his adoptive father was murdered by her family, and her family just got together with another mafia, so the Irish and the Italian mafia had an alliance because two of their their like children got married in the first book, and so this is the second book, and he's really upset that his father has died, and so he decides to kidnap her. And this one's slow, so the romance doesn't really develop until like 40% in, but she is really angry because she's locked up away in this like decrepit mansion. It's very Beauty and the Beast, and he slowly kind of unthaws and starts liking her, and then he will go to the like end of the world to protect her by the end. But obviously it's like her family is going to be horrified when they figure it out, because he is literally trying to kill them and had kidnapped her, and they were trying to kill him, and so they have been rivals. So it's like, how could you even like someone like that? They can definitely not be together, but they fall in love anyways. I really like this. If you like a mafia romance for forbidden romance, I would recommend reading this one. And the last one I have is Real by Kennedy Ryan. This is definitely forbidden workplace. Again, romance. Our hero is a director and our heroine is an actress, and it's forbidden because the last time he had a relationship with an actress on his set ended really, really badly, and that relationship is still affecting him now and how their dynamic was. And so he promises himself it could never happen, and he wants his investors to take him seriously because he took a chance on her. He saw our heroine as an understudy on Broadway and was like, that's who I want. She's a no-name for his movie, and the investors are like, no, we need someone big, like we want our money out of this movie and make sure it sells. And he's like, no, this is my person. If you say no, I'm gonna go invest myself, like I will figure it out. And so he pretty much forces them to let her be the actress. So he's like, I can't be in a personal relationship with her. People will think she only got the job because of me. I don't want it to diminish the movie. And they fall in love. So it's so good. I really love their dynamic together. I love how Cannon was just so hardened and cold towards her, and she really liked him and couldn't resist liking him. And she does have lupus, so that does take a big part of the plot line. So make sure you're aware that this has chronic illness before going into it. But I love how the relationship played out, and it was just so sweet and so emotional. Definitely forbidden romance that I loved. And those are my forbidden romance recommendations. These are ones that are more like tame forbidden. They're just forbidden because of the situations they're in or the positions they hold. There's nothing really too taboo and forbidden about them, but I still love this kind of forbidden romance. Let me know down below if you have any forbidden romance recommendations, and that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.